I'd have guys, older guys, that would walk into the store, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, yo, I just acquired a younger girlfriend, you know what I mean? I'm having trouble keeping up. You know what I mean? I'm not as youthful as I used to be. And I get what they're hinting at, you know what I mean? Like, I know what they're trying to ask me right now. Like, oh, do you have anything that'll help me, right? Realistically, if you have a good diet and you're physically active, you drink water, you know what I mean? You'll be straight, you know what I mean? And like, I get it, the older you get, your testosterone falls off or something. I can give you a little something to help you out with that. But what am I going to get you? I'm going to get you 3 different supplements that are going to be paired all together that'll help you last as long as you so please, bro. Trust. And realistically, you don't need any of them. But why am I telling you on 3? Because I get money for it. And it's on sale right now. Grab you these, pair it with this, and the way that it works in your body is this. I start using jargon they ain't never heard before. And it don't even matter because they not gonna do no research on it. They care about getting their meat up and keeping it up and satisfying their girl. And I care about the check. It's a win-win situation. We moved up. Truth be told, I really don't know what this game is. But I saw that you could play this in like 2 hours or something like that. It's supposed to be like a story-driven game, or like visual novel type vibe. And I don't really think I've played many of those. So we're gonna give Return to Ash a shot. I don't really know what's going on. We're just gonna get straight into it for real. So let's just start. I think it's based off like being in like a hospital or something like that. Oh wait, I gotta read. Oh, never mind. I'm closing the game out, y'all. Nah, I'm just playing. The hospital was empty. Quiet and brighter than usual. Like waking up on a snow day. Oh, wait. Did I just save? Okay. Audio. Did I press space to like... Oh, no. I just got to click. All right. Whatever. But I didn't feel cold. I didn't feel much of anything. Weird. Normally opening my eyes to a room like this bright would give me a migraine. Instead, I feel no pain at all. No aching muscles, no bed sores, not even a hint of dizziness or nausea. For the first time in 7 years, I felt completely normal. Either I'm cured or this is a dream. Or I'm dead. Hello? I guess this is Ash. Return to us. I called out, but no one came. Nurse? I searched for the call button on the side of my bed, but it wasn't there. Yep, definitely a dream then. My IV bag dripped in response. Or some next level painkillers. Haha. What did I subject myself to? What am I supposed to do now? Die, I guess? Why is this an option? Am I supposed to die? Like... just get active, leave the room. Alright, I'll go find someone. I put on some slippers and walked into the hall. Bright as hall. Much to my dismay, didn't seem to be anyone here either. Something was definitely wrong. Even in the dead of night, you'd see a nurse or two scurrying these halls, or at least a janitor. But it's broad daylight and there's absolutely no one. My footsteps echo quietly in the eerie silence. Peered around the corner to see another empty stretch of hallway before me. Alright, new explanation. Time has stopped. I slept through the fire alarm and everyone already evacuated. I was left behind in the confusion. Or it's the rapture. So it's not their fault I was left behind. A nuclear apocalypse isn't there a bright flash before the bomb goes off. That must be what this is. I walked steadily down the halls, coming up with more and more ridiculous theories as to what was happening. Finally, a figure appears, saving me from my madness. What is this? Stylish woman? Hi. I was too surprised to know how to react. This wasn't the sort of person I'd expect to find, and she showed up too suddenly. I had to focus on all the possible explanations for what was going on. I should have come up with something to say when I inevitably found someone. Stupid. I didn't think anyone else was here. She looked me up and down and glanced at my IV and then back at my face. She was expecting a response. Son, this is not a cool tie. I'm about to say, where is everyone? You just got here, didn't you? What am I supposed to say to that? No, I didn't just get here. I was admitted a full 7 years now. You just got here, ma'am. This hospital, though, there were small enough differences that I noticed it. It was becoming easier to believe this might be a new place entirely. My bad memory doesn't explain the missing call button after all, or the fact that these halls are so lacking in detail. I guess she's right. Wherever this is, I did just get here. So where am I exactly? I thought this was St. Fellows. Is this a different hospital? She sighs, pausing to consider her words. Listen, this isn't a hospital. You died. Oh, GG's. Are you okay? You're not having a heart attack, are you? How can you have a heart attack if you're dead? I was really just hoping you weren't gonna say that. Ah, right, of course. Why would it matter if I was having a heart attack now? I'm apparently dead. Thank you. That's what I said. I mean, I assumed as much. I just didn't want to face it. How could I have died so unceremoniously? Unless it's just now that I don't remember the gruesome details. I guess I should be thankful for that at least. Still to die in my sleep at the ripe age of 22. That's not how I expected my life to come to an end. The doctors never told me how many weeks, or never told me I had however many weeks left to live. It feels so out of nowhere. Did I really die? I'm breathing right now, out of necessity or habit. The woman clears her throat. Sorry it took me some time to process my own death too. Oh, so she's dead. I've been here for about 3 months now, give or take. I wonder how she died, but it's probably rude to ask a stranger something like that. I mean, it's not like I'd want to spill my life story either. So what's your story, kid? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a kid, I'm 22. Really? But you look so young. What that mean? I'm 23. Does that mean I don't look young? Do I not look youthful? Anyways. Being hospitalized stunted my growth, I guess. Why are we talking about this? I died. Who cares what I look like? Wow, only 4 years younger than me. Finally, someone I can relate to. I like to a little better. Excuse me. My life is pretty far from the average 22-year-old's experience. It's hard to imagine I would be able to relate to her in the slightest. What were you hospitalized for? It's not cancer, is it? She's so unbelievably rude. No, it's not hard to explain. Was it terminal? I continue to be astounded by this woman's complete lack of tact. Can we talk about something else? Ah, sorry. I'm asking because I want to discern what your goal might be. My goal? I'm dead. Surely there's no reason left for me to pursue any kind of goal. To my surprise, she laughs. This might be some kind of afterlife, but that doesn't mean we should give up on living. That's literally the whole point of being dead. My name is Scarlett. I'm going to get my second shot at life, even if it kills me. Moving words for someone who's already dead. What about you? Do you want to go back? I mean, if we're going to spend the rest of our life in a hospital, like... go back where is really the question. When? To where I left off? To before I was hospitalized? I thought of returning to my current day, everyday life, resuming the station I've been in for the past 7 years. It doesn't sound all that appealing to me. It's not that I'd rather be dead. It's more like, now that I've died, I feel like I could come to accept it. My head doesn't hurt, and I've been standing here for a while now without feeling dizzy. That's huge for me. I wonder if I even need this IV anymore. I answered her honestly. I don't know. That makes sense. It sounds like you just got here after all. What's your name? It's Ashley. Ash for short. All right, Ashley, walk with me. I'll tell you everything I know. All right? She turned immediately with complete confidence that I'd follow right after her. So I did. Naturally. Scarlett walked at an easy pace, explaining the mechanics of this afterlife as if it were a speech she had rehearsed and recited 20 times. Maybe she had. Clearly, I wasn't the first dead person she welcomed here. It was surreal. Thinking about the situation I was in, but also I had no trouble focusing on her explanation despite that. Unusually so, I felt lost. I feel so lost in a fog, but my mind is completely clear right now. Is this how my brain would function if I were healthy? Not that it matters anymore. Based on Scarlett's explanation, I should consider this place to be purgatory. We died, but we can move on from here. It's unclear exactly where we would move on to. Apparently, that's up to death. We are on our way to meet them now. So we don't get hungry or thirsty. There's nothing to eat or drink here anyway. And we can't sleep. You know, I haven't actually tried. But after 3 months with no sleep, I haven't felt any sort of adverse health effects. So safe to say, it's unnecessary. You know for sure it's been 3 months. Time is definitely passing. I've been using my watch to track the days. There's no sunrise or sunset. I slow my pace. As Scarlett stops in front of me, there's a pitying look on her face. The stasis isn't so bad once you get used to it. I'm already tired of how bright it is. Scarlett laughs, but I wasn't joking. I may have been spared from my usual migraine, but the constant intensity of the light was unnerving to me. If I had no choice of the hospital to spend purgatory in, I'd say St. Fellows was the better option. At least I'd have some changing seasons to look forward to. How did it get quieter after visiting hours were over? The text keeps moving like slightly back every time like you go to the next Johnson, and it's messing up my flow of reading. Anyways, the chatty nurses would tell me about how their day as they changed me would tell me about their day as they changed my IV. Being in the hospital for so long, you learn to love the little things. The alternative is just to feel miserable all the time. I'm not miserable. I'm still alive, but I can't even say that anymore. I grip the pole of my IV stand to a little tighter. I'm still too afraid to leave behind. The last few wayward souls who came through here, they made it out pretty quick. But or maybe you'll be able to bargain with death too. Then you won't have to get used to this light. I'm not very good at bargaining. She laughs again and presses the button for the elevator. I'll help you. I'm good at debate. Thanks. The elevator doors opened to reveal a man stacking coins in the corner of the floor. Who is this, yo? We found Mr. Krabs in purgatory. What the heck? Don't come in. I blinked at the confusing sight, but Scarlett cut in without missing a beat. You're still at this? It's been 2 days. There's lots of coins and the deadline is coming up pretty soon. Scarlett leaned her forearm against the elevator door to prevent it from closing. Well, can we get in? I'm taking Ashley here to meet Death. Could you maybe catch the next one? No. Scarlett forced her way in, knocking over a stack of coins in the process. Why are you so pushy, Miss Scarlett? Because you're wasting time. Come on, Ashley. She motioned for me to follow. As I stepped into the elevator, I did my best to avoid the coins at my feet. Man, screw them coins. What are you going to buy in purgatory? It was an awkward ride. When we reached the basement, Scarlett went on ahead. The man moved to shield his coin stacks from her reckless stride, but it turned out to be unnecessary. Her intent seems more focused on escorting me to wherever Death was, I guess. To the side of the elevator door was a pile of coins. Upon closer inspection, they looked to be some type of play currency. At least I'm not aware of any coins with the skull on them. Doubloons, maybe? Judging by the cartoony design, it seemed they were used for a board game rather than by pirates. Curious and not particular in any rush to meet Death, I stopped to talk to the man. Why are you stacking coins, bro? Caledon. Celadon? Caledon? We're gonna call him Dawn. And you're Ashley, right? I prefer Ash. Dawn picks up a small stack of coins and transports them to a larger pile beside the elevator. His process is methodical and efficient. I can really tell he's been at this for 2 days. It's my trial, so I can revive. He shuffles back to the elevator to pick up the next stack of coins. Trial? Scarlett, clearly tired of waiting, returns to my side. Death told him he has 3 days to bring coins from the top floor to the basement. If he reaches a certain amount, his soul will be released. You have to be stacked like this. If a single coin faces tails up, it won't count. Sounds tedious. No, I don't mind. It's good exercise, I guess. He goes back for the next round of coins. Leave him, Ash. He's done hundreds of these trials. Death isn't going to let him pass this time either. As Scarlett walks away, the elevator door begins to close. Don stumbles from his place to block them. The stack of coins he's holding wobbles dangerously, but he quickly steadies them and continues his work as if nothing happened. I feel sorry for him. What, help him stack his coins? She said he's been doing this hundreds of times. Man, follow Scarlett. Let's meet who this Death guy is. Not wanting to be left behind, I back away from Don and leave him to his trial. Scarlett turns back to me, tapping her foot as I catch up. She's grinning. You know, the reason I volunteered to bargain with death for you is because I don't want to see you end up like Don. In other words, she took pity on me. I really wish I had a mentor when I first got here. Maybe things would have gone more smoothly. Thanks for your help, Scarlett. You don't have to call me Miss Ashley. We're equals here. That's funny. I don't feel like I'm being treated as an equal at all. Still, I can't help smiling back. If she wants to take me under her wing, that's a net positive for me, isn't it? Yeah, until you're the reason that she gets her soul back and you're the reason that you stay, or she's the reason you stay here. Really, when you think about it, this is too easy. Like what Scarlett is doing right now, like just helping me out. This is not like it. She's the first person how did she even know that I just got there? And what good does she get out of helping me outside of getting, like, we know what her goal is. So, and the first thing she asked me was, what is my goal? Meaning she's trying to align her goal with mine to achieve hers and possibly screw me over in the process. That's my guesstimation. Scarlett motions for me to follow again and I obey. Best not to overthink it. I steel myself as she escorts me further down the hall toward death. Death. The room I found myself in had walls lined with metal drawers. I know these drawers. Excuse me. They're for storing human bodies. You pull the door open and the panel slides out with the corpse in it. I've seen it on TV. This is the basement of the hospital where they take patients who succumb to their illness or injuries. And Scarlett took me here. I'm really dead. I really died. No matter how many times I say it in my head, it doesn't sink in. I'm still thinking and walking and talking. How can I really be dead? You're joking, right? She turns to me, genuine confusion in her eyes. It's the morgue. My voice cracks. I can't stay calm when I'm faced with this. Is this how you see it? Oh my gosh, did she just... Was that sound effect her, like, smacking me on my head? What was that supposed to mean? It's obviously the morgue. Are you okay, Ash? No, I don't know. I'm in a morgue. The fear is so visceral, but my heart isn't beating faster at all. Is it still beating? When did it stop? It's not beating anymore, is it? Scarlett, I don't want to die. I don't want to be dead. I feel the same, which is why we need to bargain with death. I try to calm my breathing. She's right. This is what we came for. Sorry. Don't worry. It's a normal reaction. I feel like an idiot for freaking out. You kind of are. I was told a long time ago that I'd die young, but it still always felt so far away. Imagining myself being slid into one of these cold metal drawers to be forgotten by everyone I'd ever known. Yeah, that's morbid, I ain't gonna lie. But everyone already forgot about me, didn't they? That's how I felt before. No visitors in over a year. I might as well not exist to them. It's more convenient if I don't exist. How will they feel when they hear the news? Relieved? I don't want to think about it. I don't think it's best to think about it either. How did you die? I asked the question point blank. She pried into my life before, so this is a bit of payback, I guess. I don't remember the specifics. I woke up here 3 months ago. Don was focused on his trials and Death refused to talk to me. There's been a few others, but they haven't stuck around long. I'm not sure how any of them got out or if they were able to be revived at all. She talks quickly in another speech that feels rehearsed. She must have relayed this story a number of times by now. I've searched the building for clues, but the computers don't boot up and everything in the filing cabinets is completely blank. All I know is Death is in charge and seems to have control over who can leave via the trials, which means bargaining with them might be the only way out, if there is a way out of here. You sure we can bargain with them? Well, don't expect results right away. They don't like the recently living. Great, I guess. I have to figure out a way to get on Death's good side. Where is Death anyway? I thought they'd be lurking around here. They usually are. I take a look around now that the shock of being in a morgue has worn off a little. Bro. On the opposite side of the room is a large pile of corn that have been meticulously stacked. Don's work, I guess. What is the point in this? A show of dedication? Repaying his sins, maybe? You'd have plenty of time to reflect on your life if you spent 2 days doing this. Or maybe you'd be so focused that you don't think at all. Wondering these things to myself isn't going to answer any questions. I turn to Scarlett. What else has Don had to do for his trials? Oh, I stopped caring. It's all meaningless anyway. Blunt as always. These trials are a waste of time, Ash. Death always finds a way to claim you've lost. You're calling me unfair? Oh. Music stopped. Let's go back here. This is definitely death. You came out of nowhere. Don't do things like that. You're going to give Ash a heart attack. Not possible. It certainly feels possible. You really startled me. Just then, Don came stumbling into the room with a stack of coins in hand. Oh, everyone's here. We have business with death. Could you try not to disturb us? But my trial. Is this not enough coins? It's insanity. He places a stack of coins in the pile, then scurries out of the room. Have some self-respect. What's your business with me, Scarlet? They ask flatly, their side muffled by the mask skull covering their face. That is a mask, right? The gloves they're wearing look like the kind I've worn in Halloween as a kid. Ashley wants to be revived. You're going to release your soul from this place. She speaks for me and I let her. There's no way I can talk to death like that myself. Am I? Dawn sneaks back into the room with another stack of coin, then quietly adds them to his pile. Yes, you are. Look at her. She's on IV for God's sake. So if she revives, she could die anyway. Gee, thanks for the reminder. That's besides the point. It seems relevant to me. Why should I bother? Because maybe a near-death experience is what she needed in order to be miraculously healed. She can go on to live a full life. That's the kind of weird argument to make. I'm certainly not expecting any miracles. She's young. Does she look like she belongs here? Dawn's coins clatter in the background. To me, she looks like someone who would rather rely on a stranger than face her problems herself. We're not strangers? We did just meet. Why would you say that? Shut up. Scarlet gently places her hand on my shoulder. Let me do the talking. Thank you. Because what are you doing? Ousted from the debate over my own soul, I retreat to the opposite side of the room. This isn't going well. Death probably thinks I'm pathetic now, like how Scarlet feels about Dawn. A pathetic little worm doing whatever they're told, relying on the strength of others. Pitiable and weak. That's us. He glances at me, then hurriedly returns to stacking his coins. But before he can leave the room again, Death blocks his way. Time's up, Donnie. Donnie, it's kind of cute. Please stop calling me that. Only my mom calls me Donnie. Scarlet strides over to us, indignant. Excuse me, our conversation was not over. Schedule's full, babe. Come back with a better argument tomorrow. I'm busy. Tell me failed and get it over with already. Please don't do that. I worked really hard. Excuse me? They all turned to face me at once. I was a little surprised as they listened and massively uncomfortable with the intention. Are you really going to check through every coin? Not just check them. There's a hint of a smirk in their voice. I'm going to flip them. Flip. And there's the catch. For every coin you brought, we're going to play heads or tails. If any of them lands on tails, you lose. That is so tough. That is so tough. Oh my gosh. I thought I just had to place them here face up. Flipping every single one, that's impossible. What are the odds of getting heads so many times in a row? 50-50 for each coin. That's a pretty awful RNG. If my units had a 50-50 chance of missing, I'd choose another attack. It's so low you might as well not even try. Oh, you're a gamer? Not supposed to know that for real. I didn't meant to say it out loud, but the despair of the situation really struck me. I'm so sorry, Don. Death flips the first coin. Heads. They pick up the next one. Oh, it's heads again. They're definitely taking pleasure in this. Don cringes visibly at the sound of each coin being tossed, and the third coin lands on heads, and the fourth. He watches the results, unable to speak. But it can't go on forever. In fact, it might be set up to make him start thinking there's a chance, only for Death to take that away. It's just a coin flip, but they managed to turn it into an immense psychological torture. Bringing fewer coins would have been given him better odds, but then would he fail for not meeting the minimum requirement? I see why Scarlet didn't bother to help him before. Death's trials are made to be unwinnable. The coin flips, the Death pauses and turns to me. Hey Ashley, heads or tails? Tails. I wasn't asking you. Death wants me to call it. See, there's levels to this decision outside of just like there's levels to this decision outside of just saying heads or tails, right? And I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why there's levels to this decision beyond just it being a heads or tails, right? If I choose heads, right, she could just as easily, like, first off, choose the opposite of whatever I pick, right? And then, like, give him tails anyways. Or if I'm trying to think of how I want to, because he needs heads to continue forward, and if he gets tails, then it's like it ends, right? But if I choose tails, then I'm literally telling him that you failed this trial, right? But then also, if I choose heads and it continues, then death could still, like, I'm almost continuing the torture. This is a lose-lose situation, bro. Like, whichever one I pick, I'm still hoeing Don. You get what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna choose heads, though. Actually, let me go back. Okay, so yeah, it is heads. It is heads to continue it. So if I choose heads, I'm continuing his torture. If I choose tails, I'm literally like telling him that you failed. But I'll choose heads though. Heads. Scarlet shoots me a look, but I don't budge. I have to stand up to death somehow. They flip the coin. Tails, you lose. So what would have been the other option? If I choose tails, I just want this to be over. It's too cruel. They flip the coin. Tails. So I would have lost either way. So no matter what I picked, it would have been an L. Huh. I'm gonna just stick by heads then, my original choice. That's not fair. His voice wavers. I think he might cry, which is probably Death's aim with this. Crushing his spirit, giving him hope, only to snuff it right back out. What do they gain for toying with people like that? Don has done a lot of these, right? I can't stop myself from speaking up. The situation is too unfair. Yeah. So why can't you just release his soul already? He's tried pretty hard, right? He's got plenty of time. True. What do you mean? Death mounts their scythe like a witch on a broomstick. I barely know how to react as my eyes follow them. I can only think of how the ceiling is higher up than I realized. They drift to a stop, then grasp the middle on one of the metal doors. Am I about to see a corpse? Have we been standing in a room lined with bodies? Why do the walls look infinitely tall, and how did I not notice that until now? The metal door swings open, and a long drawer slides out. It's hard to tell from where I'm standing, but it seemed to be lined with rows upon rows of hourglasses. He is in here. What are those things? The countdown for every soul that comes here? Countdown? Why is this the first I'm hearing of a countdown? You never asked. True. Like you'd have told me. This is how long you have left to live. The sand in the small hourglass falls steadily down, a human's life measured in grains of sand. Nice try. We're already dead. Not quite. Don stares at the ground, wringing his hands. What do you mean? What do you mean? Death descends again, Don's hourglass in hand. Want to see what happens when I turn this over? They said in a teasing voice like it's a game to them. This is someone's life. But yes, I do want to see. No. Don says what we all must be thinking, but it's cool. Check it out. Okay. When Death flips the hourglass over, we all expect the sand inside to reverse direction, but it doesn't. It continues to fall upwards, defying gravity. This is how long you have left to live, meaning we are still alive. And maybe if we're still alive, we still have a chance to revive. Scarlet said she's been here for 3 months. How much time does she have left? How much time do I have left? Scarlet lets out an incredulous huff. So you're just gonna torture him until his time runs out? Will you release him once it gets down to the wire, or let him die in the end? That's up to him. Unbelievable. We're still alive even though we're in the afterlife? Didn't Scarlet tell you? I look at Scarlet, but she's already stormed away. She taps her foot, facing away from us. This is the afterlife for souls who died a social death. Huh. So those... let me just continue reading before I start thinking. Y'all ended up here because you're miserable losers. Wow. My assumption is that it's because nobody's came to visit her for a year. Like, she's literally been lonely and only finds thingy out of talking to nurses. So Scarlett brought me back up to the floor where we first met. In her hands was an hourglass, one that Death had given her when she asked for it. She eyes it suspiciously. Didn't she tell you that's what Death said? Scarlett could have told me we weren't really dead. She's apparently known it all along. So why did she give me the wrong impression? No, she specifically told me that I died. That's not a lie by omission, but just a straight up lie, isn't it? What else has she not told me? Based on her reaction, I can tell that she didn't know about the hourglasses, but what about everything else she told me before? Was any of it true? I slow my pace. We need to talk about this. Hey, Scarlett. She finally looks up from her hourglass and directly into my eyes. You told me that we died, but according to Death, that isn't really true. You knew that it was a social death, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I don't trust them. I don't trust anything Death says implicitly. Their trials, for instance, I've never once seen anyone pass them. But others made it out before. Maybe they passed their trials without you noticing. I've yet to confirm that. They just seem to disappear after a while. You think Death is lying to us? I know that I'm dead, Ashley. She suddenly seems very intense. I'm taken aback by the coldness in her voice. How are you so sure? Because I was murdered. Scarlett glances down an empty hallway, then steps into one of the rooms. I mean, leave and go where, really? You know what I mean? Like, but this is why I said I don't trust Scarlett off rip, because, like, she, the first thing that she said when we asked how did she die was she does not remember. And now she suddenly remembers that she was murdered? Like, I've come this far with Scarlett, I won't back down now. I mean, we low-key have no choice but to follow her, yeah? Like, well, obviously we have a choice, but I don't understand what the reasoning would be outside of just going to talk to her. Scarlett stands on the other side of the room, gazing out of the window into an endless void. Scarlett, you're really attached to me, aren't you? I thought we were working together like a team or something. I get that you don't trust Death, but I at least thought you could trust me. Could you trust? Or I could trust you. Could you trust me? ? You're a good girl, Ashley. She sighs, letting go of the tension from before. I'm sorry for making you feel like I lied to you. Let's share information properly this time. I guess. Scarlett starts by showing me her hourglass is nearly full at the top, meaning she has plenty of time to revive, according to Death anyway. I wasn't given an hourglass, so there's no telling how much time I have. But if Scarlett's doing just fine after 3 months, maybe I don't need to worry about it so soon. Knowing the deadline might only make me panic in the end, so we decide to forget about it for now. I actually disagree with this. I would actually like to know exactly how much time I have left. And I also want to know how you know you were murdered, Scarlett. Scarlett folds her arm and leans back against the window. The other thing I should tell you first is this isn't a hospital. Yeah, it's the afterlife. You told me that already. What I mean is that morgue we were in before, that's the mail room. Huh? It isn't really a mail room, of course, but it's just what it looks like to me. It's different for everyone, like a dream. Your mind fills in the blanks using a place from your own memories. She's only known the hospital for 7 years, so this reality looks like a hospital to her. So it's like a memory, that's why the details are missing. So then, what is this place for you, Scarlett? To me, it's an office building, the one I used to work at. Scarlett goes into another one of her speeches, although this one feels less rehearsed. Before she was killed, she was forced to quit her job. She doesn't say what job was exactly, but there was some kind of scandal caused by her boss, and she was unknowingly complicit in it. All she did was shred some paper like she was told. That got her stalked by journalists and all this public outrage. I'm almost surprised I hadn't heard of whatever the case was, but it's not like I watched the news. Scarlett delivers her story coldly without a hint of emotion attached. She sounds tired of it all. I don't want to push her with more questions, but I would push her with so many questions. Honestly, bro, you don't have a heart that would get a heart attack. You might as well just push into those emotions, bro. Why not? You're already in purgatory, bro. So then, if your boss was the bad guy here, Why were they coming after you instead? God knows, Ashley. If I call it misogyny, they'll accuse me of dodging culpability. None of my friends wanted to do anything with me. They didn't want to get it. They didn't want the trouble. Some of them even believed those articles. I was getting harassed on the street. I could barely leave my apartment. A social death, meaning all of her relationships were destroyed. What about your family? My mother passed away when I was young, and I haven't spoken to my father since I was a teenager. We never got along. I may as well have not had a family. Maybe it's better that way. They would have become targets because of me. Fairs. Because of you. Weren't you only in that situation because of your boss? It's unfair, isn't it? I ignored the rumors about him. We even used to get along. But it turns out he's another shitty, abusive white man in a long line of shitty, abusive white men. Hating him is easy. It's boring. Me, on the other hand, I'm a traitor to my entire gender. I'm despicable. Yeah, relax. It's because I'm the one who destroyed the evidence. It doesn't matter. Oh, wait. Whoa. Wait, I'm starting to understand. That's why she said she's a disgrace to her gender. Oh, okay. I think I know what they're alluding at here, but I'm going to let them divulge it in front of us. I think I used that word correctly. It doesn't matter that I didn't know what was on those papers. Everyone believes that I must have known. If I had taken the time to look through them, if I hadn't been buried in work, I could have realized what they were. That bastard. I'm just the last line of women whose lives he's ruined. Scarlet sighs again, much heavier this time. It's so painful to think about it. You think after a few months away from it all, I could laugh about it. How could anyone laugh about any of that? It led to you being killed, didn't it? Something like that. Our murderer must have been related to this, right? I thought that's what she was telling me. Anyways, I'd rather not dwell on it. When I revive, I'll be starting completely over. Like a whole new life? That's the plan. There's no salvaging my old life. I'm dead. So I'm assuming... Wait, but that doesn't have to mean the end of Scarlet, or maybe I can change my name to Rogue or something. Nah, Rogue is definitely... I don't know. Anyways, my assumption here when it comes to the murder part is that she was not physically killed, but like the quote unquote murder is like a conglomeration of all of the people that like were harassing and slandering her, and like, or even including her friends that pushed her away. Anyways, I like Rogue. I like that. I want to change it right away. Wait, I want to change it right away. What, and have to explain myself to everyone? No thanks. I don't think anyone would make a big deal out of it. All that aside, let's stay focused on where we are now. Finding a way to revive. I think our next step is trying to find or to get more information out of others. They're probably more willing to talk to you than me, so I think you'd better be the one to do it. Alright, it makes sense, I guess. Scarlet needs my help. She's relying on me for this. Just make sure to take everything Death says with a grain of salt. Don, too. Honestly, that man is beyond help. GG's then. I'll let you know what I find out. Thanks, Ash. I promise we're going to make it out of here together. Yeah, we can do it, I guess. I suppose. As I leave the room, I can't help but feel giddy with pride. I'm going to be useful to Scarlet. We're a team now. I still don't trust Scarlet, bro. I hurried down the hallway to the elevator, my IV bag swinging along behind me as I walked. Man, alright. When I reached the elevator, I pressed the button to close the doors behind me. The entrance? I don't know if we went to the entrance. I think if we can get a conversation out of Death one-on-one, I think that'd be useful. So I'm gonna check out the morgue. I need to ask them about my hourglass. I steel myself and press the button labeled B2. Speaking of B2, or should I say 2B, did y'all see there was a announcement for a Nier Automata sequel? Absolute cinema. Anyways, when the elevator door opens, Death's scythe drops in a small gap like a guillotine. The blade sticks into the floor, set a couple inches deep. It takes me a moment to register what's happened. Thank God I wasn't standing right there. Once the door is fully open, they jostle the handle and swing their weapon back over their shoulder casually. I've been expecting you to kill me? Nah, I want to hang out? You're not going to swing your scythe at me anymore, right? Don't be such a baby. Follow me. Alright. So B2 is where increased bond with death. Huh. Death brings me back to the morgue, but the atmosphere is completely changed. Is this a different room? It's my room. How'd you deck it out so fast? This place looks extremely lived in, from the half-eaten bags of snacks on the floor and the controllers scattered near the beanbag chair. Magic. Don't worry about it. I should know better than to ask, considering I've also seen them fly. Very true. The big screen TV catches my attention. There's a tantalizing lineup of the latest game consoles below it. So Def is just in here gaming. Are we gonna play video games or something? I'm getting a little excited. Look, stay focused on the. She don't want to get out of here for real. She just want a game. I don't even blame her for real. The only games I've had in the hospital were my favorite childhood handhelds. Def strides over to the controllers on the floor and picks up one of them. We're gonna play GDA 5. Grand Theft Auto 5. Glorious Deaths Avarice? Have you not heard of? Alright, bro. We know what it is. We move. Oh, the kids down the street. I grew up on one of those games. I watched them play it. The Sin Town one. I get it. Vice City, probably, or whatever. Yeah, that's the old one. 5's cooler. It got way better graphics. A little bowed to Rockstar game. Decent. It's single player. You just watch. Wow, what fun. How long am I going to be stuck here hanging out with them? What? Death turns on the console and boots up the game. The graphics really are better than Sin Style. The reason I just said gender right there, right, is because I was noting how, like, they haven't characterized death with a gender. Like, they haven't said, oh, he or she. They're saying them. Like, you're using death. Like, we're talking to the concept of death itself, and you can't really characterize or you can't assign a gender to a concept like that, like death, I suppose. Whatever. Anyways, it was just a note in my head that I thought of, and that's why the first thing that came out of. I don't need to explain myself any further. We move. In GTA, you play as a devil girl named Lucy. I wonder what that's short for. She's like if Lucifer was a sexy lady. It's a raunchy game that appeals to edgy preteens and middle schoolers. In the case of my childhood friends, their parents didn't seem to understand the rating system and bought it out of ignorance. There's a main story mode, but I think most people play the game for the sandbox aspect. You can pick up the guns and steal. Okay, bro, I get it. I understand the type of game it is. Death loads the save and shows me their character. Lucy's dressed in cargo pants and a bikini top with a huge rifle on her back. She looks absolutely ridiculous, but over-the-top aesthetic of the game is kind of the selling point. Check this out, they said, equipping a huge rocket launcher. They fired at a gas station, then walked towards the camera in slow motion for dramatic effect. The explosions in this game are so realistic. Actually, I've never seen an explosion in my life, so maybe they're not. Honestly, when you think about it, I haven't seen an explosion in my life either, so I don't really know how realistic explosions truly are in games. They look more real than the other ones from the previous game anyway. I comment on how cool it was while Death cackles away, stealing a fast-looking car and evading Hell's police force. They're having a great time. I need to get information for Scarlet. Hey, Death, can you pause? Why? Because it's hard to have a conversation over the gunfire and explosions. Then yell. I'd rather not. Boring. Death pauses the game and leans towards me. So you're like, Scarlet's lackey now or what? Scarlet's my friend. Saying it out loud makes it feel good inside. Look how she's smiling in the corner, bro. It's nice to have a friend even in the afterlife. Well, I guess it's too late for you then. Too late for what? You don't really care about GTA. You're happy being someone's puppet. We'll never get along. I'm not a puppet. Why'd you come here, Ash? You dragged me here. You came down the elevator to talk to me, right? Yeah. You never gave me my hourglass. You don't have one. I don't? I'm unpausing now. Death resumes her grand escape from Hell's police force, driving down a blood-soaked highway as helicopters riddle Lucy's cars with bullets. I don't have an hourglass. What does that mean? I guess if it was something they made up to put pressure on Scarlett and Dawn, it makes sense that they wouldn't care to give me one. Maybe Scarlett's right then. Death's just playing games with us to keep us from reviving. I gotta tell Scarlett about this. Trusting whatever Death says is definitely a mistake. Don't leave. You're right there with him. I disagree with the decision making that I don't have a decision over. I wouldn't leave. I would start yelling. Explain yourself, bro. Death doesn't say a thing when I walk out of the morgue. I have better things to do than watch them blow up tanks. I should talk to Dawn next. I'll give Scarlett an update after that. I don't agree with this. I would be doing so many different things here. I find Don in the lobby. He's turning his hourglass over his hands, and the sand is steadily flowing in one direction. I'm sure he's still thinking about the trial. At least I would be if I had just wasted the past couple days going up and down the elevator carrying coins around for no reason. You know, when you think about it, if he would have brought like 3-4 coins, he would have been out. Technically, maybe, who knows? Because she's using magic anyway. So yeah, he would have lost anyway. Now that I know that I made the right decision leaving him to it before, my help would have only made it worse. Don has been here for the longest, aside from Death, of course. I need to learn more about his situation so I can report back to Scarlett. Alright, chat to me then. Hey, let's talk. Sure, Ash. Is there something in particular you want to talk about? Everything does happen, I guess. Anyways, I'll be your friend. Everyone needs a pal after all. I really don't want to be this nigga's friend. Alright. I'm struck by his warmth. He seems so genuine. Alright, you might have been right. This might be a ooh game. Can I call you Donnie? Please, anything but that. We share a laugh and continue chatting. I tell him about myself. How most of my life has revolved around my illness, being hospitalized, how I hadn't had any visitors in over a year. That must have been what marked my social death. Chill, bro, chill. Come on, lock in, bro, lock in. This must have been what marked my social death. My family, everyone, I was dead to them. There's the thing about, so I changed the subject. What was your life like? How long have you been here? You know, I'm not really sure how long it's been. Scarlett's the only one with a watch. And it doesn't get dark. The days must really blend together, huh? It's probably been a few years. Could you ask Death to find out? They don't like me very much. He sits in one of the chairs and takes the one beside him. My life before this was, I don't know. I ran my own business. I had a wife. I thought my family cared about me. Oh, he was lit. But then I went into debt, and no matter how much effort I put into my job, it just sunk deeper and deeper. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, working hard, hustling, you know? His breath grows unsteady. I don't know what to say, so I just keep listening. When she handed me the divorce papers, I thought... Yo, that's so tough. I thought, I shouldn't laugh at my guy here. Anyways, when she handed me the divorce papers, I thought, great, now I get to spend more of my life selling products. My whole family stopped talking to me. I don't know what I did wrong. Those products help people, but my mom called it a scam. What are you selling? Bro, look at his eyes. It looks insane, but it's not a scam. They're health supplements. I use them myself. If you have enough people in your downline, you can make thousands of dollars a week. You just have to keep recruiting. Oh my gosh, this nigga was running a pyramid scheme, bro. He was running a pyramid scheme with vitamin D pills, bro. And it's fun. You get to work from home and talk to people you never would have talked to before. It's the kind of work you could do from a hospital bed. Heck, you might feel better if you take them yourself. Health supplements? The company is called You Thrive. Get it because you thrive. Alright, bro. His mood changed really suddenly. I've never heard about this company and it sounds important to him. Ash, when you get out of here, I'll send you a sample kit. You can try it for yourself. That's okay. I shouldn't be taking supplements without my doctor's permission. That's what's great about You Thrive. It doesn't interfere with any medication. It just boosts your immune system along with many other benefits. This is weird. Why is he giving me a sales pitch when we might be stuck in the afterlife forever? I understand it now. This nigga was running a pyramid scheme with freaking with a supplement that's not like he's putting like sugar in pills and just like selling that and being like, oh yeah, this is gonna boost your immune. Oh my! And the fact that he's giving a sales pitch here in purgatory. I know what the kind of man he is. He deserves it. He deserves it. Oh wait, I can scroll. Oh snap. Ah yeah, bro. Look, what I did when I worked at the supplement store has nothing to do with what I'm doing here. All right. I know what I was selling when I was selling it, and I also know how to get you to walk out of the store with a product that I want you to buy. That's why I'm saying I know ball. Monkey see, monkey do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm recognizing the faults in bro because I've been there before. I know what it is. I'd have guys, older guys, that would walk into the store, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, yo, I just acquired a younger girlfriend, you know what I mean? I'm having trouble keeping up, you know what I mean? I'm not as youthful as I used to be. And I get what they're hinting at, you know what I mean? Like, I know what they're trying to ask me right now. Like, oh, do you have anything that'll help me, right? Realistically, if you have a good diet and you're physically active, you drink water, you know what I mean? You'll be straight, you know what I mean? And like, I get it, the older you get, your testosterone falls off or something. I can give you a little something to help you out with that. But what am I going to get you? I'm going to get you 3 different supplements that are going to be paired all together that'll help you last as long as you so please, bro. Trust. And realistically, you don't need any of them. But why am I telling you on 3? Because I get money for it. And it's on sale right now. Grab you these, pair it with this, and the way that it works in your body is this. I start using jargon they ain't never heard before. And it don't even matter because they're not going to do no research on it. They care about getting their meat up and keeping it up and satisfying their girl. And I care about the check. It's a win-win situation. We moved though. Let's get back to the game. I'm so... I'm healthy, so it didn't make any sense that I'd die. See, now he looks back to normal. So this social death thing, that must be it. Because it's not tomfoolery. It's facts. It's facts. I'm so serious, bro. One day I have it on my phone, but I don't feel like pulling it up right now. Like, I have the video of the guy or the audio of the guy that was like, hey man, I have a really small dick. Can you have any pills to make it bigger? No, sir, I don't. Oh, well, you know, I got a girlfriend and like she says it's a little too small for her. She wants it to be bigger. I still have it on video. I literally have it on video. I promise you I do. I have the audio. I gotta find it later though. That real though? That's you? That's your body, Keem? That's yours? Oh my gosh, that's so tough. That's so tough. That's so tough. Nigga like me, African genetics. We ain't never had to deal with that. We moved though. You feel me? Never had to deal with those. So this is a social thing. That must be it because no one talks to me anymore. They all blocked my number for good reason. Did he scare off everyone how intense he is about his job? That's pretty sad. Well, at least we have each other, right? Don smiles at me, then takes his hourglass from his pocket. He stares down at it with great sadness in his eyes. I don't have the heart to tell him. Death's probably lying to him about the hourglass stuff. I'm not sure that it would make any difference. The years he spent here doing Death's impossible trials, that must have taken a toll on him. Beneath his friendly exterior is a man on the verge of breaking. I pat his back, not knowing what else to do. If he was to revive, would he be able to make new friends? Would I? Well, at least I have Scarlet now. Good luck on the next trial. I'm sure you'll pass one eventually. Don? Right. Yeah, he slips his hourglass back in his pocket. Thank you, I'll do my best to pass the next trial. Found out a lot about Don's background. It doesn't seem like he remembers dying, but it's possible that he could have passed in his sleep like what happened to me. All 3 of us died without any friends, but that could just be a coincidence. I'll talk to Scarlett about all of this. I'm sure she'll come up with better theories than I can. I disagree. I knew it. Skylar paces back and forth across the room. So the hourglasses are just a distraction, just like the bogus trials. We can't trust anything Death says. Who knows if they have the power to revive any of us at all. Maybe that was a lie too. But they can fly and stuff, and they definitely have some powers. Right, and you just said they changed their room with magic. But we already know the appearance of this building is based on illusions. Are they really death, like the literal actual Grim Reaper? I thought so, but but I'm beginning to think, but beginning to doubt that too. They're wearing a Halloween costume. They're supposed they're supposed to be our only way out of here, unless even the possibility of reviving us was a lie. It doesn't do us any good to believe that. Let's think about the things we know for sure. I'm not sure of anything. I don't know if I'm really dead. Well, I know I am, so we can start there at least. Everyone who's been able to leave this place so far, I thought it was because they passed their trials, but I didn't actually see anyone pass anything. I only heard about it from Don after the fact. Right, he believes in the trials a little too much. I watched him fail again and again. The entire time I was here, he won't stop. And the entire time I've been here, he won't stop, no matter how many times death humiliates him. And now you tell me he was in an MLM? It seems like he was as gullible as they get. I told you it was a pyramid scheme. Wait, what's an MLM? Multi-level marketing scheme. It's a business model that preys on desperate people wreaking havoc on their finances while the owner of the company. They're in the room with us. The TV in the corner of the room suddenly switches on. The screen is bright white. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Calling all losers. I thought of some trials for y'all. Come downstairs to get started. The TV switches off as abruptly as it turns on. Scarlett and I exchange looks. Should we? They'll come to us if we don't go to them. Might as well get it over with. True words. I knew it was a pyramid scheme, bro. I knew it. When Scarlett and I reached the morgue, Kaladin... Kaladin and Death were already waiting for us. I glanced at Don, but he looks away. I wonder if he's nervous about the trial. Now that we've assembled, Death taps her scythe on the floor and makes their announcement. Scarlett, it's time for your next trial. Pass. She said it so quickly, Death had barely time to finish their sentence. I made you something special. It's a video game. A game like GTA or something? Nah, I can't 3D model. I made you a card game. They pull out a small handheld and offer it to me. It's a retro model similar to the one I got at elementary school. It's a Pain Boy. Ah, I get it. The cart's already in there, so just turn it on and try it out. If you beat my game, then you'll get to revive. I have a feeling Death has designed something extremely difficult, maybe even impossible. Well, I mean, play it. I click the on button. Can't hurt to try. Yeah, how to play. The game begins with a Joker face up. Pick up cards from 2 to A. Collect the suits in this order. If you choose the wrong card, you lose. Just play already. I don't understand. So in that order, collect the suits in this order. So spades, hearts, thingy, diamond. I'm not gonna lose this game anyway, but I still want to give it like a fair shot, you know? Right, so we're going spades, 2 to A. All right, I understand. I already play. So it starts with a Joker, and then, wait, retry, what? Okay, so retry. A to confirm. So am I legit? Hold on, retry. Whole wait. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not 52. Huh. Oh, this is one of those type games where you like, huh? Oh, they're really trying to get me to give up. Nah, I'm about to go 1 by 1 here. No, we're gonna do this. All right, it's not this one. No, go back. Damn it. It's making it harder for me to. Oh my gosh, they put the give up in that corner. Good. Yo, there's literally no way to retry. Back. Wait. I didn't give up. This is not defeat. Ah! Let me in. It's time for your next trial, Donnie. He stiffens up in preparation. I couldn't help but feel nervous for him too. Not much. Death ascends high over our heads just like they did before. They open up a different drawer this time. When they pull out the table, it appears to be empty. This game is simple. They descend back down towards us with a hint of darkness in their voice. It's called Say When. Before I knew it, my feet leave the ground. I barely have time to register what's happening before my body hits cold metal. My IV bag hits my chest and I scramble to catch it. When did it get taken off its hook? Where am I? Oh, darkness. It's blinding white. I had only just gotten used to was replaced with an oppressive black that turned my confusion into abject fear. I'm stunned, terrified to move an inch. All I can do is breathe while my mind searches for an explanation. Ashley? Scarlett's voice gets through to me, but it's coming from somewhere below me, muffled slightly. What are you doing? Let her out. I'm inside of something. I tentatively reach out one hand into the darkness in front of my face. It's flat, smooth, and cold, metal like the surface I was thrown into. I reach the same out to the side, panic this time. My worst fear was realized. You're inside one of those boxes. Yup. Please? I don't want to be in here. Please, someone. My words come out as a whimper. I'm not even sure if anyone can hear them. It's up to you to save her, Donnie. I'll let her out if you ask. Death's voice is taunting, like a playful bully, the sound of someone who isn't really going to do what they're offering. But free her too soon and you lose the trial. Don, I called out in panic desperation. He has to let me out. He has to. Are you kidding me? It's not like she'll actually die in there. Oh my gosh. You're unbelievable, you scum. You know that? You let a poor disabled girl suffer over a child you're gonna fail anyway? Hey Ash, are you okay? Am I okay? Would anyone be okay in this situation? No, I'm scared. I don't like this. Please let me out. I beg him, trying to speak as firmly and as clearly as I can to make sure there's no misunderstanding. I want to be let out immediately, but you're not hurting or anything, right? I'm about to hurt you. You should hurt him. I'm grateful for Scarlett's anger, but I'm not sure it'll convince him. Don, please, please let me out. This is going to be the easiest trial I ever gave you. All you have to do is nothing. We're all on a time limit, Don. You are literally sacrificing her life to save your own ass right now. But I could actually win this time. Could you live with yourself if you did? Well, I'd be alive again. I hear a quick thud and a loud owl from Caldon. Did she punch him? Hey, no violence. Hang on, Ashley. I'll free you myself. More clanging metal and shuffling sounds. I can't tell what's going on, but the distraction is welcome. Even if you make it up there, the drawer is locked. Scarlett's heels hit the floor and she grunts in frustration. Are you seriously fine with having her death on your shoulders? No. Then let her out. Fine, please let her out, Death. The locker opens. I'm free. If not for Skylar, how long would I have been trapped in that darkness? Would Don have waited until just before his hourglass ran out? I shiver at the thought. He believes the lies of the trials and these hourglasses. If he's been here for years, he's about halfway through his countdown. He was seriously willing to leave me there as long as he could. He didn't listen to me even when I begged him. And Death was the one who tossed me in there, even if they're helping me out, they're helping me down now. These trials, now I understand. They're meant to maximize people's suffering. Scarlett is the only one who sees through it all. She's the only one I can trust. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. I hang my IV bag back on his stand. My hands tremble with anxiety, or maybe it's just the residual fear of being locked up like that. Let's go, Ashley. Yeah. She takes me by the hand and we head to the door and towards the stairwell. I can't even look at the others. Hey, bro. Once the door closes, Charlotte turns to me. She gives my hand a gentle, reassuring squeeze. Are you okay? I'm so sorry they did that to you. I feel better now. Thanks for saving me. I really owe you one. No problem. That's what friends are for. Us girls gotta stick together. Men will always end up using you, even if they're supposedly nice guys like Don. Her words give me pause. Something feels wrong about them. But I guess it's true that Don was using me. We don't trust anyone and we don't play by the rules. That's the only way to come out on top. The only way, huh? What's wrong, Ashley? You sure you're okay? Yeah, I mean, you're right. Going along with the trials just makes you do awful things. If you weren't there to stop him, Don would have It's hard for me to get the words out, thinking of being trapped in that dark place with no one to come in to save me. He didn't care what happened to me, did he? No, he didn't, but I do. We're in this together, Ash. Let's think about what we can do next. She leads me upstairs, heart filled with a sense of purpose. I'm grateful that Scarlet is here to protect me. I'm still not trusting her. I don't care. There's something about her. We start from the top floor, exploring the halls and chatting along the way. Actually, it's more strategizing than chatting. Scarlet is going over everything we know for certain, hoping we can get a clearer picture of what this afterlife really is. Our conclusions so far are, we definitely aren't in the real world. It'd be impossible for us to go this long with food or water or rest if we were. The building's details are different to each observer. It seems to draw from a memory of each individual. As far as Scarlet can tell from what others have described to her. And 3, Scarlet ended up here after being murdered. This is the main evidence that we have that Death's hourglass theory is just something they pulled out of their ass, as Scarlet puts it. Thinking about what she has went through, the scandal, being disowned by everyone around her, that still counts as death or as social death, doesn't it? I still wonder if physical death is a sure thing. I don't think I can bring it up to her now, though. She was pretty upset when I doubted her before. I better just trust her judgment. I don't like this. This sentence right here, I should just trust her judgment, is like this is the issue with Ash, is that she's so willing to roll over. Like, even if there's somebody upset, bro. Like, anyways, you know what? Come back to it. I don't want to make her retell the story of her murder anyway. That sounds like it'd be pretty traumatic. You care too much about somebody's feelings. You just met them. It's been, we don't even know how much time it's been. It hasn't even been a full day yet. You already befriended this. I mean, can you really blame her though? So it's been over a year since she, you know what? Never mind. I don't blame her, but I disagree with her nonetheless. We've come to a stop at the end of the hallway. Scarlet leans back against the wall. The only place I haven't been able to investigate very thoroughly is the basement. Why the basement? Death spends most of her time there. Whenever I try to poke around, they harass me until I give up and leave. Do you think they're hiding something from us down there? I'm not sure, but I do get the feeling they're not as all-powerful as they seem, even though they can fly. Yes, that's another thing we know for certain, is that Death has a few special abilities that we don't. Scarlet paces back towards me, staring at the titles on the floor as she walks. With how often I've seen them flying around here on that site, it's likely there's invisible wires involved. You never know. One time I played a game where the plot twist, there was all these mechanical structures made of a special material that characters couldn't see. Sounds like a cheap twist. Yeah, I was just thinking, since this place is kind of like an illusion, it could be something like that. If it were, we were screwed. Scarlet groans in frustration, lightly kicking the wall with the side of her foot. This is impossible. If this whole building is an illusion, can we even trust anything we find here? I have an assumption that could be entirely off, right? I think that Death is low-key, like was a human being at one was a human being at one point, and like Death was a human being at one point, and insert magical reasoning here, but now she does this to other people, but she's also stuck here. I'm calling Death a she because she has, anyways, Death is also stuck here is what my assumption is. What are you doing? Resting. Want to join me? We can't rest here. Sure we can. Lie down on that gurney. That's a table. Whatever, just lay with me. Well, I was going to try to take a nap. Maybe you should too. How is taking a nap going to help us? I always take a nap when I don't know what else to do. Or if I'm trying to avoid something, I guess. Anyway, it helps clear our mind. Come on. Despite her protest, Scarlet gets comfortable on the bed next to mine. I see. So it's like meditation. Genuinely trying to sleep here. I don't really think that's possible. You said you hadn't tried. I hadn't. I can hear the smile in Scarlet's voice even without looking at her. It makes me feel warm inside. It's nice having a female friend around. Yo, Scarlet is like scarred by dudes, and I don't entirely blame her. If my running theory in my head about what her boss did is correct, I don't blame her. At work, my former workplace, all the people hanging around promotions were men. Excuse me. I spent so much time trying to curry favor with them, I never really got the chance to know my female coworkers. That's why I'm happy I get to spend time with a girl like you, Ashley, even under these circumstances. See, like, I'm a dude, so, like, should I, like, girl power it up or, like, you know, say nothing? I'm not much of a girl. I'm gonna say girl power. I didn't say this. I didn't say girl bosses. I'm just playing. Two girl bosses who are going to revive and go to lead brand new girl boss lives. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Not really. I'd rather just be a regular person. I don't know. I've never related to femininity even once in my entire life. I'm not sure how to explain that to her. I guess it could be something to start, or I could start with something that's been bothering me. Hey, Scarlett, could you maybe call me Ash instead of Ashley? What's that? You're mumbling. Nothing. Never mind. It's too late to bring up something like that now. Bro, stand on business, bro. Oh my gosh. Stand on business. Scarlett is peering down at me from over the plastic bed frames between us. Are you getting sleepy? No, I don't really feel tired at all. See, that's why I never bothered to do this before. It's so weird. I felt like I spent my whole life being tired, and now I'm in this place with different rules. Different rules. Yes. Maybe we're thinking too heavily in terms of the real world. Why should the laws of physics exist in the afterlife? Our bodies don't even feel the need to... Huh? If anything is possible here, as long as you imagine it? Scarlett, how are you doing that? I get it now, Ashley. I've solved it. None of this is... None of this is real. It was only our preconceptions holding us back. Scarlett drifts around the hall effortlessly, flying about exactly as I've seen Death do. This must be something any of us can do. Come on, try it. Okay? I do my best to try to imagine my body rising off the bed like Scarlett's, but I feel as heavy as ever. It's just like a lucid dream. Why didn't I figure that out sooner? Dreaming, huh? I did think that this might be a dream before I woke up here, but I've never flown in my dreams before. Yeah, there's no way I can imagine my body being agile and weightless. My shoulders feel slump in defeat. I can't do it, Scarlett. Yeah, you're one of them. You're one of the main characters I don't really like. That's alright. We won't be trapped here much longer. Now that Death and I are evenly matched, we're gonna confront them. Yo, like, create a new room or something. Like, spawn in a bazooka, yo. Scarlett giggles as she dashes to the other side of the hallway, shooting through the air like a falcon. I scramble my feet, lugging my IV along with me. I can barely manage a jog. Scarlett pulls me into the elevator with her, and we arrive at the basement floor in no time. What does she mean by confront death, evenly matched? Are they going to fight? I want to revive, but it'd be best to do that peacefully. Scarlett probably feels the same, right? She's like a battle of wits kind of lady. Everything's happening too fast. Are we really going to be able to escape death, or escape this place soon? Sorry. I'm worried that it won't be that simple. As we enter the morgue, a glint of metal passes over Scarlett's head. Before I know it, she's thrown herself out of the way, and death is picking up her scythe from the floor where she once stood. I knew you were coming for me. I've got eyes and ears all over the place. That's fine. I'm used to being surveilled. Scarlett shrugs it off with a confident laugh. How can she be so calm about this? Death seems surprised too. When Scarlett takes a step forward, they take 2 steps back. Are you afraid that I came here to hurt you? Death keeps her scythe raised, letting out a small growl in response. Scarlett takes another step towards them. I came to talk. No need for violence. Back off. Oh my. Death swings at Scarlett as she dodges again. Please don't fight. I'm scared they'll hurt each other. Can we get hurt in the afterlife? Can we bleed? Death, you're scaring Ashley. Put the scythe down so we can talk like grown-ups. Oof, I've been through this before. Y'all get so cocky once you realize you can fly. Death circles Scarlett, taking slow, cautious steps. They're moving towards me, towards the door. You've been lying to us, Death, keeping us busy with your silly games. You know the way out of here, don't you? You've kept it to yourself, all because you love toying with others too much. Am I wrong? A smile on her face and sweetness in her voice, but something sounds so dangerous. Death swings her scythe again, but Scarlett doesn't move this time. When I opened my eyes, I expected to see something horrible. Instead, I saw the blade of the scythe pressed against Scarlet's skin. Despite the impact, she hadn't budged an inch. Oh shit. Death drops the scythe, scrambling towards me like a scared animal. Scarlet grabs them by the hood, yanking them back. Throwing them across the room, they slam against the wall, hitting the metal drawers with an upset sound. Tell us how to revive. She raised her voice now. The sweetness is completely gone from it. Yo, is this a stash? Do I see a stash right here? I don't know. I don't know how it works. Their mask is askew. Scarlet, unbothered by the desperation in their voice, strides over to them. You're Death, aren't you? Tell us. She digs a heel into their stomach. Oof. Scarlet, stop. No, press her. Press her. Shut up before I really... shut up. Tell us before I really hurt you. The elevator. Scarlet takes a bit of pressure off, still careful to keep Death pinned to the wall. The elevator is the way out. It takes people, and they don't come back. I seriously don't know how it works. I just know that they've left through the elevator. Scarlet lifts her foot, and Death rolls over, coughing. They scramble away from us. There, was that so hard? She turns and steps towards the door, motioning for me to follow. Let's go! Well, I don't like... No, I'm checking on you. Death seems hurt. This isn't right. I don't really care about her state. Are you okay? Don't even pretend like you care about me now. I don't. I didn't know she was going to do any of that. I'm sorry. Whatever, just get out of here before she comes back. I give a hesitant nod and scurrying towards the door. Scarlet is silent until we reach the elevator. What were you talking to Death about? Her expression is neutral, but her words are laced with an implicit threat. Don't betray me. I wanted to see if they were okay. You were pretty rough with them, so. Death is our captor. Thank you! Oh, snap. What'd I do? Return. They knew the way out, and they purposely withheld all that information from us. They tortured us Dawn for years and likely plan to do the same to us. Considering all of that, you don't think a little violence is justified in order to escape the nightmare? She does have a point. She has a great point, actually. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Scarlet's only doing what she thinks she needs to in order to... Do you want to survive? Yes! You're right, Scarlet. I wasn't considering our position. I'm glad you understand. I'll admit, I got a little carried away, but what's important is now we're going to be free. We step into the elevator together. This is the way out. The question is, how exactly do we escape from here? Is there a hidden compartment, or we're not supposed to climb up the elevator shaft, are we? Scarlet could fly, but there's no way I can manage to do it on my own unless she carried me. That seems a bit silly. I'm not going to ask her to do that. We study the walls, ceiling, the floor of the elevator, but aren't able to find any secret panels or switches. It just seems to be the same set of buttons that take you to the same floors. Same as every other time we've used the elevator. If Death doesn't know how this escape route works, how are we supposed to figure it out? Maybe you have to press the button in a certain order. I vaguely remember playing a game with that kind of puzzle. Let's try the top floor first. We press every button, stopping at each floor along the way. The doors open and close. But nothing special happens. Before long, we end back at the basement level. Death calls out from the safe distance from across the hallway. There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? I ask politely before Scarlet can snap back at them. The elevator exit only works for people who've redeemed themselves. You can't leave if you're a bad person. Scarlet stomps one foot towards as if she's going to chase, causing Death to bolt towards the stairwell. Once they're gone, she sighs and relaxes her stance. They're making things up again. Let's keep trying. Alright. I nod passively, unsure of what else I can do in this situation. We spent a long time exhausting every idea we can think of to crack the elevator's code. Try as we might, no combination of buttons lead us to a way out. Scarlet kicks the wall hard, letting out a grunt of frustration. The elevator sways lightly on impact. Oh my gosh, this hunk of metal thinks this is judging my moral character. I thought Death was lying about that. They must be. They even know that this elevator is truly a way out of here. They could be lying to us about that too. Sounded sincere to me. It could all just be a waste of time. They're watching us, laughing at us. What fools we are, huh? Scarlet? She bangs her fist against the wall. causing the elevator to sway again. Choking back a sob, she collapses to the floor, looking more hollow and fragile than ever. Man, tighten up, bro. What if it's true that this is hell and I'll never be able to leave because I'm a horrible person? Whether death was lying or not doesn't seem to matter to her anymore. The idea of it clearly struck a nerve. What if I belong here? What if I deserve everything that's happened to me? Yeah, let's definitely take a break. You're tripping. All my life I've tried so hard to prove I'm a good person. I want to help marginalized people, the ones left behind by society like you. Oh my gosh. She isn't listening to me. We're treated poorly just for being women. You've got it even worse being disabled. It isn't fair. Anything we do is scrutinized to hell and back. Meanwhile, men get away with anything they want. She's spitting? This isn't even about the elevator anymore. I'm a good person. I'm not racist. I support LGBTQ rights. I give to charity, for God's sake. Okay. Thank you. The way she talks about these things is so... And yet, the drop of a hat, everyone was ready to think of me as a villain. It isn't fair. There's probably really people out here in the real world that think like this. Like, oh, I give a little bit of money and I don't hate black people and gay people. How am I not the greatest person on earth? Gently, I put a hand on her shoulder. Scarlett. She looks at me. Finally, she's looking at me. Please don't take this the wrong way, but she needs to hear this. Were you doing all those things to make yourself look good or because you genuinely care about people? Thank you, bruh. Thank you. What a question. What? You said that you want to help people like me, but you don't really listen to me. It's true that you've done a lot trying to help me, and I'm grateful for that, but I feel more like an accessory than a person, than a friend. Like, even when you ask me about me and my life, aside from my illness, do you even know anything about me? You like video games. Everyone likes video games, Scarlett. What I'm trying to say is it feels like these things you say you believe in, you're only using them to try to prove that you're a good person. You doubt me too, Ashley? I know your heart is in the right place if you just listen to me. Scarlett sways a little as if blown back by the wind. You think I'm a bad person. You're not listening. Again, I didn't say that. I should have never trusted you? Oh, man. She steps out of the elevator. I hurry after Scarlett, but she doesn't go far. Just a couple of steps before turning back towards me. You know what, Ashley? I think you're right about me. People like these are exhausting to have in your life, bro. Oh my gosh. I don't really care about this. Never mind, she's the greatest character ever. I don't really care about others. I just like feeling superior to them. I want to be powerful and respected. I want my life to be easy. I'm jealous of people who are given everything because I want to be in their position. That's what makes me a bad person. That's why I died. Why are you saying that's not true? You don't know this chick. Why are you saying all these things? I may as well embrace this afterlife since I'll never be able to leave. Wait, Scarlett. Scarlett is dead. I'll be Rogue. Ah, yes. Rogue, the angel of death. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think? In a flash of light, her appearance changes completely into being that was nothing other than an angel of death. Ashley, what happened to you? I'm certain the elevator will work for you. You haven't done anything wrong. You're a good person. I'm sorry that Scarlett held you back before. You don't have to worry about her anymore. What is going on? You weren't holding me back. We can still go on and revive. I'm going to help every last soul that comes through here. I'll show them the way out. This will be my repentance. The angel who calls herself Rogue disappears through the ceiling. I stand in the empty hallway at a complete loss. I did this to her and she changed into this because of what I said. We were supposed to revive together. The elevator, I wonder if I'm really a good person after that. I step back into the elevator and check the panel of buttons by the door. To my surprise, there's a new one, a circle printed on its surface. Is that really it? I mean, find the others. What others? Press a button. The elevator begins to move. It's rising. I'm going up. To heaven? So I'm considered a good person after all? You're kidding me. Maybe the O was a halo. I look back at the panel of buttons, but it's gone. As the elevator rises, I start to feel lighter. Is it okay leaving without hesitation like this? Rogue told me to go ahead and revive. I just can't believe it seems like it's working. I didn't even get to say goodbye to Death or Celadon. This feels wrong. It feels wrong, but as my thoughts wander, I feel something brush against my leg. When I look down, I'm no longer in the elevator, but a field of dandelions. They sway lightly at my feet. The feeling of rising hasn't left me. I'm still being taken somewhere. Heaven is supposed to look like a field of flowers, isn't it? Or maybe clouds? It feels like this is somehow both. I wish I could ask someone. If only Rogue were here to see this. The thoughts fill me with emotion and sudden, indescribable yearning for a person who was still practically a stranger to me. I want friends. I want to chat with others. I want to have conversations that don't start with medication adjustments or my latest test results. It's been so long since I've had that. I thought there was nothing I could do about it from my hospital bed. Do I even deserve friends? I just abandoned the only one that I've made in years. But what choice did I really have? Would it really have been better to risk being trapped in the afterlife forever? I just have to do better from now on. I can start small, baby steps. Maybe my doctor will agree to let me out of the hospital for a day or a few hours, enough to go to the park. Even if it's in a wheelchair, I'm stable enough for that, aren't I? And then maybe I can make a friend at the park, play chess with an old man or something. I don't even like chess. I don't want to go back to being alone. Damn. It's like, don't tell me that was like the end. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not the end. Come on. What? What? I guess it's a smaller little Johnson, a smaller little game. But it was great nonetheless. I think the story was really good. There's really screwed up endings as well, which is great in my opinion. But anyways, that is all from me for today, for stream wise. I'm about to kick it and get on my favorite game in the whole wide world. Anyways, y'all. See y'all, boys. Play my outro. Da 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 da.